Hello, denizens of the internet. I wanted to put up this quick, simple video on how to mod Starsector for those of you who are following along or don't know how it's done. Now, of course, if you're familiar with the game and you know how to mod the game, then just feel free to skip this video. It's not going to have any information other than the exact steps I took to customize a few of the mods to be compatible with each other. It's not any big secrets, but for instance, NGO is not compatible without Starsector Plus, and I had to make modifications for that. But what you want to do is, first off, how you find most of the mods for this game are you go to the Fractal Softworks forum, and you can go here to the mods child board here under the main forum listing. And the best place to find all of the currently updated mods is I found this mod index. Of course, you can see there are a lot of mods listed here, some of which are listed as up to date to 0.72a, and some of them aren't. For instance, this P9 colony group. But it kind of collapses that information down in this mod index. You can see the different factions, what version they're currently supporting, the utility mods, total conversions, and yes, even the recently deceased Starsector Plus, which you can still use. We're not, because I don't know how long it's going to stay compatible with the other mods, and it could be that within just a few weeks even we see some of the mods starting to diverge away from that. And I don't want to be playing something that you guys can't easily replicate. So, we're not using Starsector Plus, but, you know, you can see here, and I pulled most of the mods from this listing. If you click on one here, let's just go to this one. It'll take you right to the forum post, and somewhere in that page there will be the download link. And then those will download, and presumably they'll go to your download folder. You need to move those to your Starsector mods folder. They aren't self-installing. These are typically zip files or 7-zip files, and I'll explain how to extract those if you aren't familiar with that. You just want to open up a browser. You can Google for 7-zip, go here to the 7-zip page, and download the appropriate 7-zip package. I would go ahead and install the full and allow it to add shell icons, because what that's going to allow us to do is just right-click on the 7-zip files, and you can say 7-zip and extract here. So you want to move all of these to your Starsector mods folder. The easiest way to find out what your Starsector folder is to right-click on the shortcut if you have one on your desktop. There will be an open file location menu entry, and you want to select that. This will take you to the root Starsector folder. You just click on mods, and there you are. I have a mods 2 folder. That's just one I quickly renamed. It has all of the mods that I have already configured. So I want to preserve those. I don't want to destroy these. But in here, typically this folder will be empty when you first start up the game, and you want to move all those mods in there. Here's all the mods that I'm going to be including in the game, and they're here in my downloads folder, and I need to get them over to the mods folder. However, I don't want to just move the zip files and the 7-zip files, because, again, that Starsector folder is a protected folder because it's in program files, at least if you went with the default options when you installed it. So, for me, I can't actually extract in those folders easily. It's much easier for me to extract here in the downloads folder. Since I have 7-zip, I can just click on any one of these, whether it's a zip or 7-zip, and I can say 7-zip extract here. And that will actually dump that mod into my downloads folder. And here you can see it, and then I would just copy this folder over to the Starsector mods folder. And I just do this for all of them. That's just the first step. Just get all of those mods over there. Okay, once you have them all unpacked in your Starsector mods folder, you're almost done. There's a few mods here that we have that are not compatible out of the box, and we need to make some slight modifications to them to get them to run. The first thing we actually need to do, though, is get a 64-bit version of Java running with Starsector. Starsector actually includes Java inside of it. If you go up a level, you can see it has this JRE folder. And the one that comes with it is a 32-bit, and you need to modify that to a 64-bit so that it can access more RAM. And then we'll need to modify this VM params file so that it will actually access more memory than by default it will. When you're running with this many mods, it needs that memory. What you want to do is you want to go to Google or your favorite search engine and search for the Java JRE. It'll be offered by Oracle.com, and you want to click on that, and you want to go to this page. You don't actually just want to search for Java, because frequently that will download the specific one for your browser or something like that, and it won't let you exactly specify which one you want. If you go here to this Java SE downloads, it'll actually give you the specific version that we want, which is the JRE. You can download the JDK, it includes the JRE, but really, unless you're actually a developer interested in developing with Java, there's no need to for this. You can just download JRE, which is much smaller. So you want to click that download link, and it's going to give you a whole lot of options here. And we actually have a choice of which version we want to go with. Typically, you always want to go with the latest because it has security fixes. Accept Oracle's licensing agreement, and then select Windows 64-bit EXE, which will be the installer, and install it. Once that is installed, inside C, Program Files. You will find one in Program Files x86 potentially, but if you do have one in x86, that is just the 32-bit version of Java. The one inside the Program Files will be the 64-bit. You want to open that up, and inside of there you will have a JRE. Now, I have actually renamed mine here. Typically, it will have the version numbers associated with it. You want to copy that JRE, go to your Starsector folder, and delete the JRE folder that it comes with. Just delete it. Paste in the JRE that you copied from your program files and rename it to just JRE. Get rid of the extra version numbers. If you did, it should look like this inside. You can double check and make sure that you've copied the correct folder. Awesome. You now have a 64-bit version of Java that Starsector will use, and it uses it just fine. If you go to your VM params file, I'm going to open this up in Notepad++, and there are two little guys right here. Okay, these will not be the same numbers that you see. You'll probably see something like 1024M and maybe 2048M. I'm not sure what you'll see exactly. Again, I have already done this, and I don't feel like reinstalling Starsector just to find out what the numbers originally were. This is the two numbers that control how much memory will be allocated to the game. This is in terms of RAM, and you need to be aware of how much RAM your computer has. If you don't have 16, 32 gigabytes of RAM, then you may not be wanting to put a number quite as large as this for the upper end. So this XMS and then a number is the starting amount of RAM that is allocated to the Java virtual machine. The upper number is the number that it can grow to access over time if it needs to. That's the upper cap. So I know just offhand that these mods, I've seen Starsector using about 2.3 gigabytes of RAM, and so I just started out with 2. I'm using powers of 2 here, so 2048. And I've just given it a huge upper range because I have a lot of RAM in my machine, and I can do that, and I don't want it to crash during the middle of a recording or something like that. So just go ahead and use a huge amount of RAM. It should never grow to that number, but that's why I've given it such a large number. For me personally, that is the high priority. I don't want it to crash mid-game and then lose footage or lose gameplay. So none of the other numbers you need to modify, just be aware of these two numbers, and the M here is specifying that's in megabytes. So you can think of this as 2,000 megabytes or 2 gigs. Again, you probably want to stick with the power of 2 there. 1024, 2048, 4096, 8192, and so forth. Okay, so now you've got 64-bit version of Java, and you've modified Java to access more memory. However, there's a few mods here, and these are mod specific, and this may not be applicable on down the road. But if you were to sit down today, download the mods, you would have to do some of these same steps that I did to make this work. First off, the MI public actually comes in another folder. This is the Medelson Industries. I brought this up. It was inside a folder that was called like MI or something like that, and then all this stuff was containing in that folder. I brought it up a level so that the mod info.json is directly inside this folder. There's no reason not to do that, and all of the other mods have also done that. Probably want to do that. Second, the Taidong Heavy Industries, if you're using version 1.06, is not actually compatible with 7.2a. They have updates planned, but it's currently not out there. And in fact, if you go to the Starsector website, you'll notice there is this note here on the Taidong Heavy Industries that there is an unofficial compatibility patch. You want to click on that, and it will take you to this post here by Caricature, who only posted 3 things. I think he needs to come back and do a little bit more work, because this is an excellent fix. This will allow you to run the Taidong Heavy Industries in version 7.2a. So you go ahead and download this, and it will download as a jar file, which is a little bit weird. But if you open this up in 7-zip, you will notice that it has a data folder. You want to open up this data folder. You can ignore the meta-inf folder. It's not needed. You can open up this data folder, and then what I did was I brought each one of these folders out into the Taidong Heavy Industries. If you go here inside the jars, you'll notice there's a THI jar file here. You want to open this up and go to data, and you'll notice, hey, this looks familiar. It's got the same stuff, right? Well, he's modified it some, so what you want to do is you want to bring all this stuff over into the jar file here, allow it to overwrite. Fantastic. So this should make the necessary changes to your Taidong Heavy Industries that it needs. And now that one should be compatible. Lastly, we do actually have to make a modification to the New Galactic Order 1.04c. There is an update planned, again, to make this compatible, but it used to require Starsector Plus. We've removed Starsector. So how we fix that is we go into Data, we go to Hulls, and the NGO battlefreighter.ship. Modify this in your favorite text editor, and you want to go down to what is currently line 162. It'll have built-in mods. You want to get rid of that mobile headquarters, as well as the comma on the preceding line. You want to just get rid of that so it looks like this. It should just have NGO hull mod, because that mobile headquarters was part of Starsector Plus. Now, I've done that from memory, if that might not have been the original value that was there. Okay, so at that point, we've now made NGO compatible, we've made Taidong Heavy Industries compatible, we've modified the Medelson Industries, which I'm not sure if that one's required, but I did it and it works, so at least it makes it consistent with the other ones. I'm going to get rid of my THI jar file here, and we've modified Starsector. Now, it's not quite done. There's one last step we need to do, and that is to run Starsector and click on the mods link down here. Normally, you click on Play Starsector, you want to click on mods. And we will bring up a list, and all of these will be unchecked. You'll see all these black boxes here. You want to check all of the mods, presumably, assuming you want to play with them all. Go ahead and check them all. And then go ahead and tell it to save the list, and then when you play Starsector, you will see all of those mods come up. Alright, so that's how I modified Starsector, and that is how you can modify Starsector to run with the same versions I am, and all the modifications I had to make to get it working. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you come back for when we actually start playing Starsector Season 2.